Hi everybody, not done a video for a while, so I thought to do a catch-up video. I've now let go of most of my cockbirds. I think there's about 11 or 12 cockbirds moved on. It's leaving me with 4. These are the 4. There's two intensive and 2 non-intensive selection. So all of them are my best ones. I select, I thought the best size, best colour, and the other ones I say I've moved on. I have brought in some variegated birds this year. There's a heavily variegated non-intensive cockbird. Going to bring a bit of variegation into the bird room. Not had any variegated birds for 10-15 years or more, so I do fancy bringing a bit of variegation back into the room, something a bit different. So there's the there's the 4 cocks, and then I say there's about there's 10 or 11 hen birds up here on the top. Various, there's one ivory which is down there, there's some intensive and non-intensive, and then just there's that's a new one just flying up, lightly variegated. I think it actually came as a cockbird, but I think it's a hen. Intensive bird, nice, moving it around, nice white wing feathers as well. So yeah, so should have a good selection there to pair up with the cockbirds. I might let 1 or 2 go, see how we go through the winter. You never know what's going to happen once the cold nights kick in. There's 1 or 2 at last year's, so the 2-year birds coming up this year, flighted birds, not looking quite up to scratch, but I say it has been very cold overnight, so they are looking a bit puffed up at the minute. Still a bit cold. It's very cold in here. What else we got? Yeah, we got the 2 mules are now separated. They've been scrapping. There's my goldfinch mule, there's my redpoll mule. So they were scrapping, so I put them in separate cages. I've got a intensive variegated hen here. Not been very well since I picked it up. It's got a breeding condition. I've tried it on treatments for air sac mite, made no difference, and various other treatments. Not hopeful for her. It's gaping, you can hear her wheezing, breathing, tail pumping, puffed up. He's eating all right, but to be honest, it's been like this for 4 weeks now or more. Some days seem a bit better. I'd even brought her in the house to make it warmer, but that didn't seem to even do anything. So just have to see how she goes on. I mean, it's the birds seem to manage all right with the cold. I don't particularly like it being out here in the cold, so I've not been coming out there often as I should. I do like to keep everything cleaned out, nice and dry. Cage floors at this time of year as well, because you get a lot of moisture, water flicking in from the drinkers, moisture from the drop-ins. It just creates a lot of damp in here, so trying to keep the damp down as best as I can, so we've not got a nice dry atmosphere for them. I've been spending a bit of time lagging shed door in a bubble wrap with a foil coating, and I've put a foam beading all around the door because there was a bit of draft getting in, so I cut out the cold winds getting in. But the whole of the shed is lagged and clad, so it does hold up temperature quite well. I mean, if you get a bit of sun outside, even in this time of year, temperature comes up and it actually stays warm. It doesn't freeze in here, so hopefully I'm not going to have any heating on at all. Hopefully the drinkers won't freeze. That's what I used to put a bit of trace heating in to stop the drinkers freezing. And when I used to go work, it was nothing worse than coming at 5-6 o'clock in the morning to check the birds and all the drinkers were frozen. So I used to put a bit of heat in here just to stop say the drinkers from freezing. But now I'm at my leisure, I can come out and check the water more often, and if it's if the drinkers are frozen, just soak them in a bit of water and change it. They're on a basic rape free seed diet at the minute. I'm gonna not give them, about every couple of weeks I'm gonna give them a bit of a treat, a bit of soft food, a bit of permorbide or whatever, just to get them used to it. A bit of soft food. Also give them a bit of, give them a bit of a lift, help them through the cold nights. What else I've been doing? I've installed, let me take this off the way, this cover. I've installed this bathroom cabinet. It's UPVC. Nice cabinet just to stick on the wall, put all my various bottles and potions in, keep them out of the way, make space. And I've also found this online. I thought it was a pretty good idea. It's for a kitchen, it's a rice dispenser. You can put it for rice, but I've got permorbide in there, but you can use any dry food. And you can just push the button, dispense the right amount into a drawer there, or container you put in. Keep it nice and dry, easy to dispense the right amount that you want. So yeah, pretty good, pretty pleased with that. So the cupboard's pretty handy as well. It's cleared up a lot of space from my from the top here, which was getting a bit cluttered. So yeah, spending most of my time just sorting things out, getting ready for obviously next year, the breeding season. I see been watching a lot of the Facebook sites, people showing their birds, and obviously they're busy going around the country, which is good, which is great. Nice to see some lovely birds winning the various shows. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. I do fancy getting into showing in the next year or so, all being well. So if I get some nice birds, then I will, I do fancy having a go at showing. There's I always think my birds look pretty poor compared with others when I look online, but when I've actually been along to shows, they're not that far behind. The size of these birds, they look pretty small when they're in the flights. You put them into a show cage, and they're quite nice sized birds. Most of them are around the standard, 5.5 inches from head to tail. Some of them are bigger, but I always try and pair up a big bird to a smaller bird, that sort of way. And always looking obviously for intensive to non-intensive. But 3 of my best birds of bred this year came from breeding 2 non-intensive. This cockbird here, that was bred from 2 intensive birds, and the other one, where is it, down the one there, they're both brothers, and there was another brother as well that I've let go. There was 2 intensive and 1 non-intensive, all bred from 2 intensive birds. So I do sometimes, if I've not got a pairing of intensive to non-intensive, I will pair 2 intensive together. Can throw up some really good birds. The only pairing I don't do, and you shouldn't do, is put 2 non-intensive birds together, because you'll just end up with diluting the colour and the feather quality will go down. But yeah, quite pleased with the outcome. As I say, reduce the stud down a bit, because I want to breed with probably 5 or 6 pairs maximum. That's all I can cope with. I've got a nice few spare cages now, all cleaned out, sit there through the winter. Won't be doing much with them. I may add another couple of pairs or another couple of birds to the room, depending on what goes off. See how things are. You can see they're all a bit puffy at the minute because, as I say, it is cold in here. So they've just come through the night, had a cold night, just come in, cleaned out, checked everything's okay. Yeah, so that's about all there is to report. Hope everybody else is winding up things nicely now, ready for the cold winter. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Bye for now.